Thank you, friends, for joining us here. We will be starting the broadcast shortly.
Good evening, and once again, a hearty and a warm welcome to all our friends, members who have gathered here and joined us today for this webinar on exporting to North America for Indian MSMEs by exploring B2B and e-commerce. I am Sushma Morthania, Director General, India SME Forum. Good evening, and once again, a hearty and a warm welcome to all our friends, members who have gathered here and joined us today for this webinar on exporting to North America or Indian MSMEs by exploring B2B and e-commerce. Facing some technical issue. Meanwhile, I welcome Mr. Vinod Kumar, our President, India SME Forum, to kindly start with the session, and I will join shortly with more details on today's program. Over to you, Vinod sir. Facing some technical issue. Meanwhile, I welcome Mr. Vinod Kumar, our President, India SME Forum, to kindly start with the session, and I will join shortly with more details on today's.
Thank you very much, Sushmaji. It was such a pleasure to be here again with all the friends that have joined us. Well, I'm told we have quite a few people on our YouTube, and we also have quite a few people who have joined in for this exciting session on exporting to North America. I'd like to take all of us through a couple of slides that I have put together with the hope that most of us will understand where I'm coming from, having worked in the international alliances space for over 20 years almost now. Um, I would like to share my screen here. So primarily we are going to talk about what is it that is pushing us to export to North America, and what is it that we can export. Even if we are not exporting, it doesn't matter today. What matters is what can we do in the near future, and what is it that the future has in hold for us. Before that, I'd also like to take everybody through exactly what is it that we are exporting today. So if we look at in terms of the number one position in terms of exports from India, we can talk about jewelry, which is both expensive jewelry, also artificial, imitation, all types of jewelry exports from India. The number one country we export it is the United States. Now, when you add it to it, North American countries other than US, which is Canada, Mexico, other countries, it'll still go higher. So that is the number. Artificial, imitation, and all forms of jewelry are at number one in terms of our exports. The second commodity or merchandise or product that is exported from India, which values over $40 billion, is gems, precious metals, coins, and from that HS code, which is the harmonized code system. Spices. All of us talk about, how many people buy spices. We had the old spice route, which used to actually export spices throughout the world from India. And it's been going on for centuries altogether. And the US is also one of our bigger customers when it comes to assorted spices, including white pepper, coriander seeds, powder, mustard seeds, fennel seeds, even legumes, even dal, all of it. Unfortunately, the packing for all of this is still not very standard when it comes to selling in the US. We are still using a lot of traditional mechanisms for packing our products. And when you look at cereals, when you look at flour, when you look at other forms of cereals, again, very high numbers that are being actually used there. We are one of the largest producers of rice in the world. So if we look at the amount of rice that we are actually exporting, both basmati, which we call low GI rice, as well as non-basmati. So there's a lot of rice which is exported. And this happens in various formats, various packagings, right from 100 grams to right up to 5 kilo packs. So multiple formats and multiple types, multiple categories. And in various, again, formats, like I said, you have plastic packing, you have bottle packing, you multiple ways that all this rice is exported from India. Oils of various formats, castor, first grade special oil, baffle oil, which is again used in motor vehicles, parts, lube oil, virgin coconut oil, again, something that's very important, which is again going from India. A huge variety of oils are going in. Apart from this, there's also essential oils that are being exported from India to the US. Textiles. This in terms of our markets, largest markets for Indian textiles around the world, the US is at 6th position. So this includes blankets, rain sheets, all sorts of goods made of textiles textiles, including your bed sheets and furnishings, floor furnishings, you name it. There's huge potential again here. Leather products, bags, harnesses, halters, jackets, holders, all sorts of leather goods. We have very, very big market in the North American continent, including the US, Canada, and so on and so forth. Machinery parts that are exported from India, which majorly include agricultural machinery, textiles, cement machinery, compressor machinery, and various parts thereof. So smaller parts that we are actually making and selling to Americans today. We do a lot of engineering exports, including electrical machinery, equipment, iron and steel products, auto components, motor vehicles, cars, industrial machinery, aluminum products, and other miscellaneous products, which also features part of the engineering exports. And when it comes to medical appliances, a lot of us feel that we are not making a lot of medical appliances and equipment, but the US is the #1 market for medical appliances, whether it is cathodes, whether it is all sorts of commonly used medical, surgical, dental, or veterinary science appliances, including metal cubes, knives, scissors, and a lot of other parts that we are actually exporting. And the US is the biggest market primarily for this. Pharmaceutical, we all know that we've had certain, I would say, issues also when it comes to pharmaceutical exports at certain points in time, but they are growing very, very fast. And if you look at the numbers, we have some pretty good numbers in terms of what is happening over the last couple of years. And then we all know IT services, whether it's telecommunication, whether it's business process outsourcing, recreational, cultural, financial, insurance, all of that is being exported from India, with India as the back office. So when it comes to trade between India and the world, what we're talking about is, here is the number, what we are exporting to them, which has been gradually growing from $33.9 billion way back in 2009. We today are at $87.4 billion. And it might seem to be a big figure considering the fact that India exports $331 billion worth of merchandise across the world. But then this also includes services. Now, if you look at just primarily merchandise or export products which are exported, real products, apart from the services bit, that's $69.2 billion that we are exporting today. And of this, according to the World Trade Organization, we still have an untapped potential of $25.7 billion that we've not achieved due to various reasons. What these reasons are, we will discuss in forthcoming slides, and I will take you through all of it. Now, if we look at the products with export potential, diamonds, we are today exporting close to $8 billion worth of diamonds. There is a potential to go to $12.7 billion. So $4.7 billion, which is untapped potential, that what you see here. Similarly, when it comes for medicaments, which is both mixed, unmixed products for retail sales, you're looking at, we are doing way better than the potential was. So we've beaten competition here when it comes to this category or this HS code. Again, when it comes to jewelry and of precious metal and other, but this will also be, which I mentioned very early on, imitation jewelry and semi-precious jewelry and all that, there is still $1.5 billion of potential that is there in the US market for exports from India. Similarly, when we talk about motor vehicles and motor parts and thereof, we still have far way to go with $2.1 billion worth of potential there. Frozen goods, when it comes to shrimps, prawns, seafood, $220 million worth of potential there. And these are in terms of ranking, in terms of which is the highest product, and then thereafter. Organic chemicals, well, we all know $554 million worth of potential there. You have jewelry of silver and of other metals, $472 million worth of potential. Parts and accessories of motor vehicles, we are almost neck to neck. So if you see this round dot and you see the line, the bar, they are both almost together. So we have almost reached where we should. But in terms of, again, footwear, rubber, plastic soles, leather uppers, there's again a potential of $481 million that has not been attained yet. In terms of other apparatus, including telephone sets, we have all sorts of things like that are manufactured in India, like keypads. You have headphones and all the other things that are there. $547 million unattained. In terms of linen and terracotta fabrics, which is primarily towels and other things, we are almost there in terms of the potential that is there. And we have a good size, good part of the market size that is there for these products. Now, here are the other products that have the potential. So we talk about men's cotton shirts, $554 million. We've just identified a few of those where, depending on what we saw, the people who registered for the program, so we looked at what they were doing, which companies they were from, all the people who had email IDs associated with various companies. So our team at SDRC primarily worked and said, okay, these are the possible product lines that people might want to know about. So that's how we've taken out this potential. And this is in line with what the World Trade Organization recommends for finding out potential based on past average productivity and export to that particular country. There's a formula that you actually put in place for future imports by that country. And then you look at what is the competitiveness of the country that you are looking to export from. So $150 million in airplane and helicopter parts. All of this that you basically see here, almost everything apart from the bed linen of cotton has unfulfilled potential. So, when we talk about why are we not able to why are we not be able to access this potential? So here is this entire list again for all of you. Things like women's blouses, shirts of cotton, tractors, turbojets, aluminum, unalloyed, and aluminum babies' garments, nuts, bed linen, all sorts of meat products, rice. Then we have, again, cotton shirts for men, t-shirts, all sorts of things that have potential. Footwear, both for rubber and plastic soles and so on and so forth. Now, these are products or product lines that we are already doing in terms of export from India to the US, primarily as a large country. But the fact is that there are also lots of other products which are associated with these lines of businesses that can very easily be diversified into by companies that are already exporting. And there's again a great potential and demand for these. So data processing machines, monitors other than for computers, microwaves, computer data storage units, LCDs, basket work, wicker work, and other products, television cameras, electric blankets, electric accumulators, parts of telephone sets, peaches prepared or preserved, mechanotherapy appliances for massage and other medicinal purposes, sunglasses, floatable or submersible drilling devices, live primates. I mean, this is amazing. I don't know what sort of live primates should we look at in terms of exporting from India, but it's there. Ordinary natural water, goat meat, radioic acid players, hair dryers. These are some of the products that we've been able to manage to look at as to what all is the potential and what can the Indian exporter do. So overall, when we looked at it, we are talking about the possibility of adding another $50 billion worth of export to what we are already doing today. So even if we were to look at focusing at North America, one could look at a great number directly of 50 um, $50 billion that can be added. That's a sizable number, and that's almost like I would say 25-30% of what we are doing the world over today. That is the potential in the United States. Now, to give you all an idea, there's basically two categories of products. There is the edible for human consumption and the one that is non-edible. We all know that the United States has a highly regulated market. The edible items would fall under the US Food and Drug Administration, and there's a stringent norm. They do inspections and all that before they actually allow you to export. So if we are looking at exporting anything which is edible and falling under the US FDA, we'll have to go through mechanisms of import inspections and all that, which they'll do at factories here before they allow your products into the US. But if it is a non-edible product that you want to export, it is extremely simple and very, very easy. There are three main routes for primarily selling to the US, and I'm sure by the end of the webinar today, all of you will have enough information on what the issues are and how easy it is or how not. And what we put here, furnishings, home linen, ready-made clothing, these are the best possible categories of goods that can be exported from India to the US. And from among the edible category, the seafood and vegetable extracts. These are two categories, again, are toppers when it comes to edible category. So if you are looking at setting up a US FDA approved plant, manufacturing plant, or a packing plant, I mean, in these areas, it's amazingly, I would say, remunerative. So, why should we look at the US today? We all know that there is close to $272 billion worth of products that used to be exported by China to the United States. And after the US has imposed tariffs of up to 25% on all these products, it is not very cost effective for the Chinese to sell to the United States anymore. But there are certain companies which are directly based there, which are American itself. And those are the companies that are actually buying product, still continuing to buy product from China, given the fact that they do not have an alternative. Given an alternative, there is a huge possibility. We have been talking to our counterparts in the United States, various organizations that we work with over the last 9 months, and everybody there in the US is looking at alternatives. And I don't know even a single exporter from India who may not have the potential to actually export to the US or grow his exports or his or her exports to the US. I'll again like to tell you, whether it's jewelry, textile, handicraft, cereals, spices, organic products, you will get a very good investment on your return if you are looking at the US market. And when you're looking at the US market, you obviously are looking at the Mexican market. You're also looking at the Canadian market. There's a lot more potential there. Similarly, again, when India, I mean, there's a sizable population of Indian, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and other people for ethnic wear. So those, yes. But apart from that, mainstream products in textiles and garments for US citizens that are not from an Indian or a subcontinent descent are highly potential. Handicrafts have always been doing very, very well when it comes to the US markets, especially in the gifting sections and across in entertainment parks, zoos, and all that. So you have huge franchisees which are over. For example, if you look at zoos and entertainment parks, you've got franchises which are like 3,000 shops across the US, 7,000 shops across the US. They sell small, but all of them sell. So you have wooden articles, spices, Indian grocery, essential oils. All of these products have a very, very high demand in the US market, especially around the festive seasons. There's cyclic festive seasons that are happening in the US. So you have 4th of July, you have the Christmas, you've the Black Friday sale when everybody purchases. So cyclic purchases keep on happening on a constant basis in the US. And if we know the cycle, we will be there. I'll stop sharing my presentation now, and I would request Shushma ji to come back, and I will be joining the conversation later on again. So thank you very much. I just wanted to start with this, giving you an idea of how big the potential is.
Thank you very much. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing the potential in North America. I'm sure a lot of people are writing to us because I'm seeing quite a bit of messages in the chat box and the Q&A section where people have already started asking for your presentation, and they want to know what are the next steps. So I'm sure I'm going to request all our participants to stay tuned till the end of this session, because you will have a lot of answers on how it is possible, where you can participate, what kind of support India SME Forum can give. And we also have SDRC International joining us today. So they will tell you what are the other avenues of exploring these markets. But meanwhile, I'm going to invite business head of Razorpay, Shri Ved Narayan ji, to say a few words and share his insights first. And then thereafter, we will take you on with the avenues of exploring these markets again. So Ved Narayan ji, to you.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji, and a big hello to all of the participants who've dialed in. I hope everybody is doing well, and everybody is safe and sound. I know we live in pretty unprecedented times. 2020 has been a crazy year. It's finally coming down to an end, but it's been a pretty roller coaster journey for all of us. And at Razorpay again, we've had the opportunity to have a vantage point, ringside perspective of what's been happening across the entire business, startup, and the SME ecosystem in the country. We've seen a huge turnaround of SME fortunes in the country in the last 4 to 5 months, especially. We've seen a lot of businesses actually gravitate towards digital payments. We've seen a lot of first-time users and entrants to the entire digital bandwagon actually come forward and embrace digital payments, which has been very interesting. These are not people who have already been using digital payments who are coming forward and who are moving over from one player to another. These are people who are first time entrants to the entire ecosystem itself, which has been very interesting. We're seeing a lot of adoption for digital payments from tier 2, tier 3 and below. This is not just for domestic payments, but also for receiving payments from international clients, which has been very interesting. So it's not just about the Bangalores, the Hyderabad's, the Gurgaons, the Chennai's of the country. We're seeing a lot of adoption for digital overall and digital payments in particular. From a lot of SMEs and startups, MSMEs, which have come from tier 2, tier 3 and below. There are a lot of these entrepreneurial hotspots in the country, which I'm sure, a lot of you in the audience must be from as well. We're seeing a lot of representation from a lot of places in Gujarat, Rajkot, Ahmedabad, Surat, some places in Rajasthan, Jaipur is fairly popular. We're seeing a lot of places. We're seeing a lot of entrepreneurial activity, especially for receiving cross-border and international payments from a lot of businesses and SMEs based in Lucknow. We're seeing a lot of adoption down south from businesses based in Coimbatore, Kumbakonam, Mysore, which has been extremely interesting and heartening. And it points to what is essentially a very vibrant and thriving SME ecosystem in the country. And I strongly believe that the SME ecosystem essentially is the nerve center of India's economy. So having a strong and a vibrant SME ecosystem is extremely essential for the overall economic health of the country. And I do believe that the economic health of the country and the SME ecosystem is trending in the right direction. from a Razorpay perspective, again, as I said, we've seen a lot of adoption, not just in terms of newer and newer businesses embracing digital and jumping onto the digital bandwagon, not just for receiving payments from their end customers through what we call as the suite of receivable payment solutions that we provide at Razorpay, which is our payment gateway, payment link, payment pages, payment buttons, through which businesses can receive funds from their end customers. We've also seen a huge growth and adoption for digital payments for the neo banking suite of solutions that we have, which is the Razorpay X platform, wherein we enable businesses to be able to, amongst other things, pay out funds to their vendor partners, to their raw material suppliers, process employee salaries. And because of the fact that we've seen a lot of businesses having a consistent inflow of funds, which has started happening, especially more so from the month of June and July, when the country started getting into unlock mode, we're seeing a lot of these businesses being able to pay out funds in a more consistent fashion, which is intuitive, right? Businesses need to be able to have inward money movement for them to be able to power outward money movement. We're seeing a lot of good growth from all of these different aspects. So we're not just seeing a growth in terms of newer and newer businesses which are coming on board and embracing digital payments overall, and international payments and servicing international clients digitally through the Razorpay ecosystem. We are also seeing a lot of these businesses process greater monies through the ecosystem itself. It's not just an increase in terms of number of businesses, even at a per business level, we are seeing more monies being processed both inward and outward through the Razorpay ecosystem, which has been extremely interesting. The other, extremely intriguing trend that's been happening in the last 6 to 7 months is the fact that we are seeing a growth not just for our flagship Dhanda driving payment gateway product, which essentially is a product that requires a certain level of integration, that requires a certain level of technical awareness. And some SMEs also need to have a developer on standby if they're not very technologically savvy. We've also seen a huge growth for what we call as hashtag no code products, because we're seeing a lot of entrepreneurs and SMEs and MSMEs come forward who want to receive digital payments, who want to receive international payments and service international customers, and they want to do it digitally, but they have no knowledge of technology. They have no pre-existing knowledge of coding, and they do not have the luxury of having a developer agency on standby, a technology agency on standby. And we're seeing a huge growth of these kinds of entrepreneurs. This demographic sect of entrepreneurs, which essentially do not know anything about technology but want to use digital, that has been on the upswing, and which has been extremely interesting. And our products, right, which enable businesses to be able to receive funds, which is your payment link, payment page, and your payment buttons, allow businesses and entrepreneurs to start receiving payments from their customers in under 5 minutes. We've actually timed it at 4 minutes, 32 seconds. And without any hassle of integration, without any hassle of coding. This is great, not just for receiving payments from domestic clients, but even from international clients. I've seen SMEs who actually set up an entire storefront. They don't have time to set up a digital brand presence. They don't have time to integrate with Shopify. They don't have time to possibly get work with a development agency and set up a digital storefront, then set up the payment gateway before they can start receiving payments from customers. They're in a hurry. The traditional way of doing things was SMEs used to set up a digital brand presence, then they used to think about payments. Now people are in a hurry. They're skipping a step and they're directly jumping to receiving payments. And a product like a payment page, for example, that we offer, which is a 2-in-1, so to speak, and it is no code. You don't need to type a word of coding. You don't need to know anything about technology. It's a simple drag and drop intuitive user interface. A product like that allows an SME not just to establish a digital brand presence, but in the same breath allows the SME to also be able to receive payments from their end customers. A product like a payment button allows an SME, for example, to again receive payments really quickly, or if they want to set up a donation campaign really quickly, for example. A lot of NGOs, it's been a big hit with a lot of NGOs, for example, and with other e-commerce, edtech, and health tech companies, which have been servicing clients both domestic and in international geographies. And that's been very interesting. And I also serve, apart from my day job at Razorpay, where I head the SME, MSME, and the startup business practice. I also serve as a marketing mentor. I work with various startup acceleration programs, various TIE chapters, the Untitled Innovation Mission, and quite a few other associated, of course, with the India SME Forum, and quite a few other startup acceleration and SME accelerator programs. And I work with them as a digital marketing mentor on standby. And I work with a lot of SMEs, startups. I mentor, I guide them on various things, including digital brand presence building. So the consistent point of feedback that I hear from SMEs, period, is how do I build a digital brand presence? They feel a sense of intimidation towards this entire aspect of digital, towards this entire aspect of digital brand building. That is something that I essentially handhold them with. And again, something that this message has been reinforced at Razorpay as well, right? So the overwhelming majority of the new SMEs that come on board in the Razorpay ecosystem, they are not, as I said, first time users of they are not just first time users of digital payments. They are first time users of digital overall. They have never used digital before. And these are people who are freshly entering the entire digital payments ecosystem, which I think is an extremely interesting trend that we've been observing. As I said, a lot of demographic hotspots, entrepreneurial hotspots are contributing to the spike in terms of especially SMEs, which are looking to service international clients. We're seeing a lot of SMEs who are on platforms like Shopify, who are also some of our strongest enterprise partners, who are also receiving payments from international clients. In a sense, if you think about it, receiving and servicing international clients and having access to a global customer base essentially is a logical progression path for a lot of SMEs. And we've noticed at the highest possible level, from a 20,000 feet level, we've noticed three distinct SME personas which have actually been gravitating towards digital, gravitating towards servicing international clients in a digital way. One essentially is a traditional business, a business that has previously been traditional, which has previously been offline, going digital because they want to become omni-channel now. That is one persona. The second persona is a business that is already online, but it is servicing domestic customers, but now they want to go global. That is the second persona that we've seen. And the third one, of course, is businesses which in their very early stage, especially IT SaaS companies, right? Software as a service companies, they essentially go international from day zero. Right, that again is a third trend that we have observed. So yeah, across all of these, however, the common recurring consistent theme is all of these businesses require help with digital brand building, and they have a sense of intimidation towards digital, something that we handhold customers across over their entire life cycle of embracing digital. And the other thing that we also notice is the overwhelming majority of these new businesses coming on board do not know anything about coding, do not know anything about technology, but they still want to start using digital payments, which is again very interesting. The other question that I'm often asked from a lot of SMEs and startups that I interact with is, how do you make this decision on which payment provider you need to work with, right? What are some of the criteria you need to keep in mind? Is it just price? And my short answer to them is, it's not just price. Price is important, of course, given that you're an SME, you have limited resources, limited financial horsepower, limited people resources, etc. You need to look for price, but don't just look at price. You need to look at overall value addition that particular payments partner actually provides you. The payments partner should be able to abstract away all of the complexities of compliance, of payments, everything away from you, so that you as a business owner can focus on doing what you know best, what you do best, which is preparing your best possible product and selling it, and leave the headache of payments to your payments partner. So your payments partner should be a strategic ally who can help abstract away all of these complexities and help you, focus on running your business, so to speak, as an entrepreneur. And so multiple factors for you to keep in mind. First is, of course, the user experience itself. I think that is extremely essential in the kind of times that we live in, where there is such fierce competition from various brands, and especially if you're servicing international clientele, user experience becomes very important. You need to work with a payments partner who can provide a seamless user experience to your end customers. That becomes extremely essential. It needs to be as native as it can be to your overall websites, to your overall digital, to your overall brand's visual identity. So that is something that you certainly need to look for. Success rates obviously are very important. It's not of much use if your payment partner looks very good from a user experience perspective, but a lot of your customers' transactions keep getting declined. So you need to make sure that you work with a payments partner who gives you strong success rates, not just for domestic, but also for international. Your settlement time frame is another important factor for you to consider. How long would it take for your payments partner to settle your funds in your account? That again becomes important. The breadth of payment instruments. That is extremely essential. Again, this has been a consistent ask from a lot of our merchants. They want access for their end customers to a variety of payment instruments. It's not just about UPI. If in the domestic context, in the international context, it's about everything. All possible net banking options, recurring payment options, EMI options, especially in the times of the pandemic, where working capital is hard to come by, not just for businesses, but also for end customers. People are getting laid off, right? So you do, as an SME business owner, you do need to reduce barriers for entry for your end customers who can come forward and start purchasing your product. So EMIs are a big hit with the SME ecosystem. And at Razorpay, again, we've been at the cutting edge of innovation, and we've had the opportunity to be pioneers in and being first to market a lot of these different path-making products. And we have exclusive agreements as well. And we're launching a lot of these products for the first time in the Indian market. We've recently got into a partnership with Cred, and we're launching CredBay as an exclusive partnership, which has been very interesting. We've also, we're partners with PayPal, which has been a global leader when it comes to servicing cross-border requirements. And along with our partnership with PayPal, what we are essentially doing is, for anybody who signs up via Razorpay, we are actually allowing them, no questions asked, international acceptance within 24 hours. They can start servicing international customers, and they can receive their first 10,000 rupees for free, and which has been a big hit. So this has been an extremely strategic and a robust partnership that we have actually struck with PayPal. And just in terms of key SME persona itself, as I said, I gave you a quick sneak peek into some of the high-level classifications of SME persona, and I've seen a lot of other SMEs whom I know personally within the Razorpay ecosystem who have grown, by servicing international customers. There is this online painting instructor whom I have been a student myself, who was previously servicing domestic customers, is now servicing international. And the pandemic has essentially removed all kinds of geographical boundaries now. There is this online jewelry platform, which used to service domestic customers, has now gone abroad. There is this online natural, organic, Ayurvedic foods e-commerce platform, which has gone international. All of these, again, Razorpay clients. And I've seen these customers grow from infancy to where they are now. And it's been an extremely heartening experience. It's like watching a child actually grow up, which has been extremely interesting. Online tuition provider who coaches students abroad on physics and chemistry, which has been extremely interesting. IT SaaS companies, of course, we've seen them grow from strength to strength using the Razorpay platform. And as I said, given the growth that we've seen over the last several months and several quarters, I think it's extremely heartening as we crystal ball gaze towards the next 12 to 18 months. Thank you so much. And back to you, Sushma ji.
Thank you very much, Vednarayanji. There are a couple of questions for you. So if you are going to hang around for a while, then I would direct those questions at a later point of time. But I gather that you had to leave at around 5. So
oh, that's okay. I can stay till the end of the session. I've just moved my other meeting. That should be all right.
Oh, that's so kind of you. That's very nice of you. Thank you for that. So I'm going to invite Mr. Pranav Junjarao, Senior Consultant at SDRC International. Mr. Pranav, can we, are you there, Mr. Pranav?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. So, Mr. Pranav Junjarao, what are the different kinds of avenues to explore these export markets around the world? So over to you, Pranav ji.
Yeah, thank you, Sushma ji. So I have created one small presentation, and I would like to share this presentation with you all. Based on today's topic, we'll discuss how to access the North American market. So before we go ahead with this topic, I would like to explain you all what exactly SDRC is. So SDRC is basically it is a Sustainable Development Resources Consortium. It is an international company which it acts as a pathfinder for all your businesses, whether it is a startup, whether it is a medium, small scale, medium businesses. So what we do is, from information and insights, which actually is the market research, to the strategic advice. We also, fund your business when it comes to growth financing, implementation assistance, and with any of the track record as an SMEs you have, we do we consult you and make business models according to your product or your services. So what are the services? What we exactly do is the first, we are into international market opportunity, customer satisfaction, India business strategy, different researches, financial advisory, partner selection. Like again, when it comes to advisory services, again for specific markets, sector-wise market businesses, We also have customer behavior models to study different markets abroad, internationally, as well as in India. We also make complete marketing and brand reputation plans, and also we look after into your web development and media advisory. So these are few of our clients, and there are a lot more, to go about it. So starting with the presentation, like it is like how to ease Indian MSMEs road to exports. So there are like, according to me, there are like the three questions. What we have to look at, like what is being traded, where it is being traded, and how it is being traded. So these are like three questions, but I would like to start with the question where. Like, like when we ask this question where, like it actually, increases the share of intra-region and trade within the gamut of entire global trade. It also reflects the rise of emerging markets as consumption hubs. So where do you want to trade your products is the first question you have to ask to yourself. Then what is being traded? So according to me, it becomes a very interesting question. Basically, this question plays a very important role in tying the economy of our nation together. It also helps to understand the cross-border trade of goods and services. And the last question you always have to ask is how. Now, how isn't it this question has the biggest impact on global trade? Now, like when it comes to technological advances, the Internet of Things, creating global value chains, creating payment gateways, use of cross-border e-commerce sites like Amazon, Alibaba, using of social media like Facebook, like payment gateways like Razorpay, PayPal, etc. So how, when it comes to how, there has to be a proper, there has to be a proper model or design, and a step-by-step process how it being traded. So moving with this ahead, when it comes to access to North American market, or to be very honest with you, any market globally, there are like three roads which goes to it. So that is firstly, establish your business internationally, set up an international network, and the most easiest and the most successful way to grow globally, what I feel is, it is exports through e-commerce. So moving ahead with this, the route one basically is like exports to e-commerce. And why do I feel this is one of the easiest and the most successful route to expand globally? Well, because any Indian exporters can sell in international marketplace. So you know the basic thing what I have come across is like when entrepreneurs say like, this is my product, and I want to expand globally. And the first thing is that the mental block what they have in their mind, like is like, like how will I do that? Is it possible? So yes, the answer is yes. It is actually, it is very possible. It is very easy when you export through e-commerce. So the key product categories which are being exported when it comes to only North American market, which are basically sport equipment, copper mugs, apparels, books, tea, leather wallets, bags and shoes, home decor, automotive accessories, then linens, toys, towels, spices, jewelries, and now there is a huge market for herbal products and any herbal extracts. So these are few products, actually are have a global customer base only for North American market. through e-commerce. So in the latest Amazon report, it states that enabling local products reach global, in the report called as enabling local products reach global customers. The report is basically the Q1 2019 report. It says that Amazon global selling has actually witnessed 100% growth to achieve 2 billion in cumulative e-commerce export sales only from India. So you just can imagine, like like entrepreneurs in India have actually started using this e-commerce route to grow and expand their business globally. The second route basically is to set up an international network. Now, this international network can be a distributor network, or could be a dealer network, or you could set up a seller network there in America. You can also have your own value service outlet, or like based on this network, the main strategy is to multiply quicker using new location base. Like when you consider North America, you will have different like value service outlets or different franchises for your own product, but then it takes a lot of documentation. You need to identify that market, you need to identify your target group. So there is a long process where you have to move step by step. So each step has different models according to what product or what service you have. So and basically you need to expand in this market in a concentric circle wise, where you can join this market where the similar, where you find there is a demand for the similar product. You need to expand in those markets first. So I mean, like there is a step by step process where you have to follow for adopting such kind of business model. uh, when it comes to route 3, that is establish your business internationally. uh, as an internationally, when it comes to when you select different countries altogether, or where you want your product to your products should export in different countries altogether. So there you have to devise a global strategy. Then every country will have their own global ecosystem based on their culture, language, religion, their likes, their dislikes, their so you need to have a complete global ecosystem in that way. And when it comes to North America, so America has you can take an advantage of FTAs when it comes to USA. And you might be knowing the NAFTA, where the USA, Canada, and Mexico are under NAFTA agreement. So you can take advantage of such agreements which USA has. So again, this is again there is a step-by-step process which goes into route 3. And in this PPT, I will explain you more of the route 1, which is the easiest route, how to expand globally through e-commerce. Because every entrepreneur can adopt this model and actually sell your products globally. It is not a rocket science. It is actually a very systematic approach. If you follow these steps, and so your products will actually it will go global. So like taking local products global, I think there are the main important, there are like 3 points. The first is the rise in the e-commerce consumers across the globe. As as Mr. Ved Narayan ji has also discussed earlier, like how he has seen like people who are having experience or who are unexperienced as well adopting to e-commerce platforms. So similarly, so B2C transactions actually grew from US 1.5 trillion in which was in 2014 to 2.3 US dollars trillion US dollars in 2017. And the forecasting figure is it will grow further to 4.8 trillion US dollars in 2021. So just imagine this, like the at what pace this e-commerce platforms are booming. So e-commerce platforms are actually growing 4 times faster than the world economy, if we actually come down to that fact. uh, the another thing what I think is price benefits to consumers. As e-commerce extends the price benefit to consumers, it actually eliminates all the multiple nodes of middleman, uh, both in domestic and international market. So again, it becomes a very like a simplified process when you expand globally through e-commerce. And the third and the most important part is like the extensive network of e-commerce players. As like e-commerce players, as you have like like names like Amazon or Alibaba, like like they have their own network. Okay, and this network they have created all this network is the integration of like a lot of material information, the revenue flow systems, the transaction systems, and they provide you end-to-end solution for entire chain. So you can actually like from the producer to the consumer, the entire e-commerce process is it becomes very easy. uh, so like so we will now see like there are like few case studies and few brands where like the when the brands when they started, they actually adopted this e-commerce platform. And like the this brand actually adopted e-commerce platform which is Amazon. And as SDRC is working with Amazon from past 3 years, we have seen this brand growth from nothing to actually they have grown so much globally. So they have created their own market when it comes to European markets, Middle East, and US. Uh, I hope you all know this brand, which is which this brand is doing a lot of marketing on Amazon platform. That is the Wow skincare brand. So it was launched its first product in 2016. And they differentiate this shampoo from all the other shampoos as a very premium range of shampoos which is vegan, and it is cruelty free beauty. So now this shampoo is doing very well in US market, because they when it comes to the culture of USA, today when you see youth, they are there are a lot of population in USA, they are going vegan, and they are completely against cruelty against animals. So they are not actually buying shampoos which are animal tested. So what Wow has done actually, they have combined these Ayurvedic formulas of like of our Indian culture, and also they have used Western herbal preparation to and made a complete new product out of it. Hence this product is acceptable in international market. So here it is very important to study like the global market, what exactly are the likes and the dislikes of that particular region, what I was actually trying to explain you in my earlier slide. So now Wow skincare brand has gone global using e-commerce platform, that is on Amazon, and making this product accessible to the entire in the entire world. And I think this Wow shampoos this year, they have posted that they are the best selling brand in this category. So one more case study I would like to share is a Haley, jewelry brand. So when it comes to like there are a lot of women who are, or a lot of designers, or who have their own business of like of jewelry. And the thing is like will US market or any of the global market will accept Indian designs now? Yes, the answer is yes, but only when you actually do some homework in studying what are the likes and dislikes of those customers and creating a new product a customized product what usually they like. So for example, like a Haley jewelry brand, basically it's a jewelry venture with this. It was started at I think in the November or December of 2012. And the entrepreneur, she wanted to expand globally. So the first thing is randomly expanding in any of the countries. She actually, she studied that selected countries, and gathered a lot of information, understanding the ecosystem of the particular region. And actually she studied what are the various styles of jewelry are worn by those people in that particular region. And then she made her own brand identity by creating a complete new designs of according to that region, which had an Indian touch. Hence, there was a sense of aesthetic resonated beauty to that, beauty element to that to the yeah, neck pieces or earrings or rings, which was accepted by the global customers, and hence it was a complete boom in the e-commerce platform. And now the aim of this brand is to the second phase of is like they want to take the latest trends in Indian jewelry to global audiences. And again, they are focusing on affordable prices and competitiveness. So you need to distinguish what is your strengths in your product and market those strengths globally. You need to alter as well according to what is the need, what is exactly in demand in that particular region or the market. Now, one more case study I would like to make you go through is the Chandrakala creation. And I think this is I think Mr. Rahul Agarwal, who is the the CEO of this enterprise, the brand basically, and he's a third generation entrepreneur. And this brand was there like from 2 decades. And it is a basic old apparel brand which had which used to manufacture saris and everything, like basic saris, like Indian wear. But now, as being a third generation entrepreneur, uh, he wanted to innovate his product, and innovate his product in such a way that his product should get accepted in the global market. Now the first thing what he faced was, will like this saris will be accepted by uh, any of the like the US consumer from from USA, or a consumer from Europe? Will they wear saris? But obvious, no, they will not. So that's why he wanted to innovate his product. So now what he did was like he actually transformed our Indian wear into into a Indo-Western sari, which became a fashion statement across the world. And it actually was accepted. He saw a lot of like demand in the US market again for this Indo-Western fusions, what he marketed on Amazon platform. And so now he his products of he his products ranges from garments like blouses, headscarf, kids wear, which is very famous in US market and European market. So the thing is, you need to when you think global, you need to do some homework about about that particular region. And and then take a step by step process to expand in that market and take your products global. So thank you so much, everyone. This is like my contact number and my email ID if at all you want to have a word with me. And like we also support India SME Forum. So if you have any questions or any doubt, please feel free to contact the International Trade Desk of India SME Forum, or you can directly contact me on my contact details, which is there on the screen. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Pranavji, for that. Very important questions you mentioned there. And in fact, I would like to urge each and every entrepreneur who have joined us here today to figure out how to export. So, of course, these are very important questions, critical rather: what, where, and how. And you also mentioned that study likes and dislikes. So how do you do that? Study likes and dislikes of different countries, different people, what works there and what does not. And to that I have an answer. Is India SME Forum does take international delegations to various countries to participate at different trade fairs and exhibition. And the Ministry of MSME particularly runs a scheme under international cooperation. So I can paste the link a little later on the chat, where you can, everyone can go through the guidelines of this scheme under the international cooperation. But I would like to take this opportunity to specify or actually narrate one example of one delegation that we took in 2019 July to Las Vegas market. Now, this particular Las Vegas market, it takes place twice in a year, once in the summer and once in winter. And there are almost about more than 500 exhibitors. There are about 50,000 visitors who keep coming at these markets. And especially there are certain exhibitors who display their products and who have showrooms all around the year. And it is only during these exhibition days when you get access to go to these showrooms. Otherwise, you have to meet these guys only on appointment basis, and it is next to impossible to get appointment with these buyers or guys who are actually dealers and distributors and who have showrooms, who source all these items. So why I am talking about this particular Las Vegas example is because when we took a delegation of 20 members under the international cooperation scheme of Ministry of MSME, first of all, we do a kind of selection of participants, because in summer and winter, the sectors that can participate are people who are into gifting items, who are into upholstery, bedding and furnishing, baby care products, handicraft, handloom, luxury products. So primarily the buyers are who are architects, who are interior designers, bigger dealers, distributors, stockists, and so on. And of course, Vinod sir and Vednarayan ji, and in our past sessions also, we have been discussing about, how to go about or how to onboard your business for exporting through e-commerce. Participating in these trade fairs is a very good way to do export business through B2B. Because primarily when you say exhibition, let me tell you here that these exhibitions, you should not take it as, going, participating and standing on the stall and, wait for people to come at your stall, and that's when you are going to start talking or interacting with these people. No, that is not the way. Because our experience says that when we took this delegation to Las Vegas, one particular company called Spring Fit, and he had this specifically, a specific kind of mattress which has some kind of acupressure, and it has some kind of mechanism which deals with back pain and certain posture while you sleep and so on. And the exhibitor badge that you get to these kind of exhibitions is your key or MasterCard to go and visit the showrooms at which are on a year-round display. So you go to these guys. The stalls can be manned by volunteers or representatives of India SME Forum or any other representatives that you might have you could take along with you. But as an entrepreneur, you go, you look around, you visit these showrooms, you visit these buyers, you go interact with them, find out their requirement, understand their taste, look at the kind of catalogs, the work that they do, and then you start creating customized products and all. And that's how you start building B2B network and more and more opportunities of generating business for yourself.
So there are questions coming on the exhibition. If you can just share with us the presentation, if that is there.
I'm going to request Karan to please, Karan, who's handling our backend team, to start the presentation. Meanwhile, let me just quickly give you a brief on this international cooperation scheme. It primarily entitles an MSME entrepreneur who is selected to participate in this exhibition, gets a reimbursement of up to 1.25 lakhs against the space rent that he pays. So up to 1.25 lakhs. If you pay over that, I mean, yes, that's an additional cost. But okay, Karan has posted a question. Are you already registered on an e-commerce platform? So our attendees can kindly respond to those questions. Meanwhile, yes, I was saying that you get reimbursed up to 1.25 lakh for space rent. You get reimbursed up to 1 lakh rupees towards airfare. That's an economy return ticket that you get reimbursed for, and you get reimbursed of up to 25,000 rupees towards freight. So when we took this delegation last time to Las Vegas, except for three companies, all the companies got reimbursed within 3 months. And these three companies specifically did not get reimbursed because they did not adhere to the guidelines provided by the ministry for applying for reimbursement, and they in fact overstayed. So there is a certain provision in the scheme where you cannot stay more than 10 days. And I mean, they overstayed and they did not adhere to some other guidelines, so their applications were rejected. However, I mean, at India SME Forum, when we take a delegation, the responsibility is on us to actually handhold you there, guide you there, help you converge to meet with all the other exhibitors and all these other buyers and all these other visitors who are there. Next, we have this upcoming official Indian delegation again to Las Vegas market. It starts from January 24th to 27th. And we have invited applications from our members and other non-members as well, who would like to participate at this delegation which we are leading. They can write to us at itd at indiasmeforum.org. Once again, we have applied to be in the handmade section. So, in Las Vegas market, there are different sections where one can apply for a stall. So you have luxury section, you have design section, you have art section, you have gifting section, and you have handmade section. Handmade is a very premium kind of section, and we have applied for that section this year. It undergoes a lot of selection process, and the stalls which are chosen for this section have to pass a certain selection and eligibility criteria. The products that would be featuring in this handmade section are listed on your screen: furniture, gift, designer products, home decor, home textiles, houseware, baby kids, juvenile, lighting, bedding and mattress, outdoor rugs and floor covering, seasonal upholstery and motion, lifestyle products. So these are the products which will be featured. There are about 50,000 buyers, as I said earlier, and 600 exhibitors plus from 15 plus countries. There will be B2B meetings and networking with buyers, architects, interior designers, and retailers. And once again, you are welcome to join this delegation. Please apply at itd@indiasmeforum.org, and there will be a phone number also coming up on your screen where you can WhatsApp. So these are our WhatsApp numbers where you can apply for participating at this delegation. So with that, once again, I would like to bring in Vinod sir to add to whatever I have said, and also take on some questions along with Ved Narayan ji and Pranav ji as well.
Well, I think, thank you, Sushma ji, and thank you, Ved Narayan. There is a couple of questions that I've answered offline. I have tried to answer to everybody, stating that the India SME Forum primarily has an international trade desk, which is primarily looking at supporting entrepreneurs in creating or their export plans, helping them with information and putting together what sort of strategy they can employ. And we take, we have Pranav also here. I've shared his email also with everybody. Please feel free to write into him. In fact, we can run a poll, and if you, for example, for the Las Vegas market, if any of you are interested in joining up, you can just please answer the poll there, and the gentlemen and the ladies that we have from the International Trade Desk will reach out to you and try and complete the formalities earlier, because 18th of December is the last date for primarily being able to decide. The process is fairly simple. We send in an application. The officials at the ministry finally decide on the delegation. The delegation is not more than 20 people at a time. And this year, those that do not have a current US visa and all can still participate. They may not be able to go there, but the organizers will provide for people and all that who can go there and man the space and do the meetings and all that. And also you will figure in the official catalog and the buyer database and all of that will come to you. So thank you very much for responding on the poll. The other very important thing that I wanted to actually talk to all of you about was that, we had Pranav here from SDRC. So any of you that have primarily put in a lot of questions for him as to whether they can work with you directly and they can talk to you. So here is, if you would like them to connect with you and to support your international endeavor for helping you create a strategy, figuring out what is it that is required, and all of that, you can please let them know. I've also shared their email and all, so they can respond to you immediately. Now, those of you that still have questions which are not answered yet, I would say please raise hands, and we will allow some people to talk, provided we have the time available. And with that, the one question that I had for Bhavna, said that how many times a year does SME participate in the Las Vegas market? Well, the Las Vegas market is normally held twice in a year. And so we have a summer market and we have a winter market. The winter market is in January, and the summer market will differ depending on how the pandemic progresses. But they are going ahead with the winter market as of now. So I have a question from Usha. I'm reviving and redesigning Gypsy Craft, manufacturing unique products. This is the right place for unique products, especially those that are handmade, because they're buyers, architects, and interior designers from almost the entire North African continent, and they are there primarily to source new stuff. Hitherto unseen, not there before that. So that's what they primarily look out for. So Ushaji, you can definitely try and participate. You will need to send a picture of your products also for the ministry to take a call whether you fit in the handmade section. If yes, they will definitely approve your application. For food related, yes, we will have a lot of Akaksha is asking a question. So whether there's going to be a food related products, Akaksha, please be in touch with us. We will definitely have multiple things. We had last year the European Congress, wherein there were almost, apart from the European countries, there were almost 40 other countries from the Middle East and North African region. So we will definitely keep you informed. Stay in touch with us and do share your information with us at the ITD, and we will try and get you. In fact, the other very important thing that I wanted to ask you is, any of you that want to subscribe to our mailing list or join us as a member or subscribe to our newsletter are welcome to do so, and we will immediately ensure that you are on our mailing list, and we are able to get all of you on board whenever we have such things that we organize. Remember, these are ministry-led ventures wherein the ministry is able to sponsor a certain part of the cost. That's not all the cost that you will have to bear, but they do sponsor. And we have a fairly good rate of getting approvals and reimbursements from the ministry, in the fact that we had 100% rate of reimbursement on the Poland trip, on the Las Vegas trip. But there's one trip when we had two women who took off and took almost a month to come back. So that didn't get reimbursed. We all know why, because when we don't adhere to what the ministry says in terms of rules and regulations, they don't allow you. So yes, Ankitji, yes, I remember you are in textiles. I'll keep that in mind, and we have something coming up for textiles also, I'm sure, and we'll come back to you. Nutraceuticals, Mrinalji, there's a lot of work going on in nutraceuticals. Like we mentioned, there are quite a few companies which are already working with SDRC and the International Trade Desk at the India SME Forum on quite a few markets, including Japan, including I would say Europe and the US too. So there's a lot of scope for nutraceuticals, and we can help you there. So shouldn't be a problem. Scale of manufacturing that we are looking at. Well, the MSME definition primarily today is at 250 crores. Anybody less than 250 crores is a micro, small, or medium enterprise, according to the current definition. So that is the manufacturing scale we are looking at. We cannot look at officially anything beyond 250 crores. But we do have quite a few members that we support, which are primarily just on the brink, which are like 300, 350 crores also. So that's the scale that we are. Sangeeta says that, is there a catalog of the buyers? Yes, Sangeeta, there's a catalog of the buyers, which is available to all the people that are part of the delegation that officially get this exhibition card or exhibitor card that Sushmaji was mentioning about. And you also get a username and login for logging in directly. So you can then, from your home itself, even in case you are not actually going to the US, you can also from your home itself reach out to everybody. But like Sushmaji said, the opportunity is in the fact that all of these guys only twice a year converge at one place to discuss, to talk and all that. Though convergence in current times is not a very good thing. It's a very dangerous thing because you could also contract COVID. But nevertheless, those of you that will not be able to go, we will be able to share with you all of the stuff for handling it live. and that can be organized. Garment apparels, Ankitji, this may not be the best show because it is primarily towards gift or homemade furnishings and all of that. So garment, it may not be the right show. I'm going to go to more questions. By time, Ved, if you can, answer. There were a couple of questions for you on the chat. You tried answering a couple of them, and so if you can, in the meanwhile,
I thought I had answered all the questions. I thought I had answered all the questions. और भी हैं तो बता दो आप. I thought I had answered. I think एक question आया था which I found very interesting. कि कौशल जी को he was asking for if he can do something in Hindi, and that has been an increasing ask that I have also been noticing at Razorpay, where almost more than half of my SME sales teams interactions today with SMEs coming in, even people who have a strong digital literacy, they are not in English. उनको English समझ आती है, but it is not their natural go-to language, and it is in regional. It is either in Hindi or in Tamil, Telugu, Bengali. It's in a mix of all the popular regional languages. So maybe that is something that we could potentially plan for, sir, sometime.
मैं कहना चाहूंगी कौशल जी से कहना चाहूंगी कि ये जो हमारी डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की सीरीज जो ये चल रही है, ये हमने अंग्रेजी में कंडक्ट करी है, बट ये जो मैं एग्जीबिशन के बारे में जो आपको बता रही हूँ, अगर आप हमें नॉर्मली हमारे सारे वेबिनार्स अगर फॉलो करेंगे, आप हमारा यूट्यूब चैनल अगर फॉलो करेंगे और हमारा फेसबुक अगर फॉलो करेंगे, तो उसमें हमारे काफी सारे ऐसे प्रेजेंटेशंस हैं जो हिंदी में किए गए हैं, और ये सारी जानकारियां हिंदी में भी मौजूद है. तो आपका जो ये सुझाव है, ये हमने बिल्कुल, इट इज वेल रिसीव्ड. हम इसके ऊपर अमल भी करेंगे और एक दो वर्कशॉप्स हम हिंदी में करेंगे. बट ये जो जानकारी दी जा रही है, ये ऑलरेडी हिंदी में हम पहले भी हमारे प्रीवियस वेबिनार्स में हम कर चुके हैं. तो अगर आपके पास समय हो तो काइंडली हमारा यूट्यूब और फेसबुक के जो पुराने सेशंस है उससे प्लीज आप देखें. आज का सेशन भी यूट्यूब पे होगा, तो ये भी आप देख सकते हैं. एंड यू आर फ्री, आप जब भी चाहें आप हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं. हमारी ITD डेस्क, मेंबर्स डेस्क, एंड मैं खुद भी आपके सवालों को हिंदी में जवाब देने की पूरी कोशिश करूंगी.
I think we've crossed the time now. Whatever questions we were able to handle, we've handled. Sushma ji, back to you.
Well, thank you very much. As always, Ved Narayan ji, Pranav ji, and of course our star speaker as always, Vinod sir. So thank you very much for your insights, time, and it was a very, very informative session. And looking at the amount of questions, I know that there is so much of work. There are still so many questions that need to be answered, and we have just touched the tip of the iceberg. So when you actually get down to exporting, there is so much of documentation, there is so much of preparation, and of course the actual product making, quality, packaging, shipping, so many other aspects of exports. So हम एक के बाद एक इसको एक सीरीज में हम टच करेंगे, और सिर्फ नॉर्थ अमेरिका ही नहीं, अलग अलग मार्केट्स के पोटेंशियल हम इवैल्यूएट करेंगे, असेस करेंगे, और इसको हम एक सीरीज के तौर पे नए साल में आपके पास लेकर आएंगे. So with that, thank you very much. Happy holidays, keep safe, and a very happy new year once again to all of you who've joined us here today. So thank you very much.